Hello everybody. I just wanted to make a video log this evening because I had kind of a exciting or intriguing experience last evening as far as Flat Earth is concerned. I was contacted by a friend of mine. His name's Ryan Beatty. Hey Ryan. And he had been debating on probably a NASA site or maybe a flat Earth site where there were globe earthers debating. And a gentleman saw him debating and wanted to kind of ask him some questions because this gentleman had been wanting to talk to a real flat earther and start getting some questions answered, and just can't kind of comprehend why some people out there still think that the earth is flat. And Ryan agreed and talked to this gentleman for a little while, and then he said, I really would like you to talk to a friend of mine. And so he introduced me to this gentleman. His name is Reilly Capps. So Reilly Capps is a writer. He is a columnist at the Yellow Scene magazine. He is a writer for the Rooster magazine out of Colorado. And I think he also said that says that he is a correspondent for a magazine called Dope Magazine. So apparently he's been trying to get a hold of flat earthers that will talk to him and get some questions answered. I was under the impression maybe at first that he just wanted to interview flat earthers, kind of get to know them and their lives. I really wasn't sure what I was getting myself into, but I agreed. But it was more like he just cannot wrap his mind around it or can't fathom why people still think that we're not on a spinning pear ball, which is absolutely ridiculous, flying through space. But I agreed to talk to him, and last night we chatted for a little while, and we did talk a little bit today as well. He did end up writing an article on the flat earth, and he said that he talked to 6 different flat earthers. Now I know of 3. Ryan Beatty was one of them, myself. And after the conversation I had, I was very excited, and I wanted to share it with someone I thought I knew. I wanted to share it with all of you. That's why I'm making this video log. But I knew that maybe Mark Sargent would be interested because he keeps track so well of kind of like the flat earth news and things that are coming out that are any kind of exposure, whether good or bad, because I really believe any exposure is good at this point because it's making people question. There's a lot of people out there that hear stuff and they're like, well, not sure I believe that, but because of that, they question it and they look into it. So I don't know how this magazine article is going to go. I don't foresee it showing flat earth in a good light, but I'm hoping that it doesn't make fun of us, or slander us at all. I did try to humanize myself with Reilly. He was very nice to chat with and very respectful on the phone and also through messaging. But I also kind of wanted to humanize myself a little bit. I wish we could have talked more. Humanize myself a little bit, and I wanted him to understand that, I'm just a normal human being. I'm a normal girl. I live out in the country. I have a dog and chickens, and I just have questioned what is truth for a very long time, and I know that there are some massive lies out there that have been going on for exponentially long. And as far as myself, I've been looking into these lies since I was 8 years old, so it's impacted my life for a very long time. And I also, I told him it's very hard to understand when you're someone who may not look at the world that way to kind of grasp this. But for me, it was probably much easier because I've known for so long that the world has lied to us, or that we've been lied to about this world. Those that should not be in control have lied to us for so very long. He had some of the typical questions like, what happens on the other side of Antarctica, and do you fall off the edge and just float off into space? What's on the other side of the flat earth? And I talked to him and explained that, if you're thinking that there's an edge that you can fall off of, or that you're going to fall off and fly off into space, that it's still like globe earth thinking mentality, because in our world, in our reality, space is not this, infinity and beyond area out there where you can just go forever. It's not that big. What's up there as far as what we see cycling above us was placed for us, and it's here with us. It's not that far away. It's not something we can travel to, not at least not very far into. I think it was really hard to kind of grasp that idea because there's so much out there in the media that says, well, yeah, we did because we have cameras on Mars, or we have he suggested or mentioned that he knows we've been to the moon because there's a mirror up there that we bounced the laser off of, and I'm like, well, did you see that mirror? No, you just heard about it. You really don't have any proof that that's true. And it was very hard for him to think, and I understand that, to think, well, how could all those people be lying? Well, it doesn't mean all of those people are lying. Like the people that are even talking about, space and these sorts of things, people that have learned this from school age on up, doesn't necessarily mean they're lying. They've just been taught the wrong things like we were. I mean, up until 2 years ago, I kind of agreed with what I was told, kind of. I mean, I was questioning most of it. But as far as space is concerned, I never really bucked the system with it too much. But anyway, we talked a little bit about Antarctica, and we talked a little bit about we don't know what's underneath us because we've only drilled like 8 miles down. So how can we just speculate as to what's underneath there? We haven't gone the whole way down through and come out on the other side of the globe. We haven't gone down to reach any kind of molten hot lava core. Here, buddy, come here. Come on. There's my puppies coming in. We can't prove any of that, but yet it seems so ingrained in so much truth because we've been taught that, and so is he since he was so little. Go on out. Go on. And he, it's hard not to think of falling off an edge. I didn't get into the whole idea of, more land past Antarctica. As soon as we talked about Antarctica and I mentioned that we can't really go there to explore. We don't have a budget to do it, and we're not legally allowed to. And we talked about the Antarctica Treaty, and I shared with him Mark Sargent's Bird Wall Clues, which is all about Antarctica, and Admiral Byrd and what he found and such. He mentioned Eratosthenes' experiment with the stick and the shadows, and I put on, talked about that a little bit, and I shared a video that it's actually on DITRH's site channel, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. It's by David Weiss. But the video that he had on his channel was actually D. Murphy 25 or Dave Murphy speaking, and he was talking about Eratosthenes, how that it was totally debunked and it doesn't prove anything. I shared a couple different videos. He wanted to know what model I subscribe to, and I told him, there's the model that I subscribe to is closer to the azimuthal equidistant projection, and I shared a video that I did about the sun's path. I had a lot of models that I created on there, and I told him that it's not perfect, that there are some differences in the way the sun and the moon mechanics work, that the moon, there's a possibility that it changes in elevation up and down, and that's also something that Bob and Cammie Nodell from the Globebusters have been working on as well, and I definitely agree with them with that. I think that also has to do with the moon phases. Cammie was talking about this. She's brilliant. They're both brilliant, and I agree with them on that. And I also shared with him some channels. I told him if he really wants to dig into it, he can't just talk to a couple people. There's so much information out there that he could look into and watch. I shared a couple channels, like I shared Globebusters, I shared Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, and Mark Sargent at the end. And then I also gave him Marty Leeds' Flat Earth Litmus Test. Hopefully he'll watch it. I don't know. There's just so many videos. And I hate to be that person where he's like, well, what about this? And then I blast him with a video. But I'm one person, and I'm lucky enough to have all these friends that are absolutely brilliant, that have come up with so many wonderful videos and proofs that I can't cover it all. I mean, I can remember where I found a video and point you in the right direction. I'm not a science mind. I'm not a mathematician. So it's hard for me to prove that way. I can explain to him that when I go out and make observations that the sun and the moon observably look similar size. I don't observe us spinning. I don't observe us moving. I don't observe any curve whatsoever when I look out over the ocean. And I grew up along the ocean. So observably to me, it's just a genuine down to earth, not to use the pun, but it's flat and stationary. It doesn't move, and that's how I feel about it. And then I have so many intelligent friends that have come up with all these evidences and videos that it just it backs all that evidence up. And I love that we can all share each other's stuff when we need to help someone else see the truth. I don't know if it'll change his mind at all. I'm hoping that he puts us in a good light. The magazine that he's writing for, called the Rooster, he said it does cater to millennials and it's like more edgy. So hopefully it'll be one of those articles where he's just trying to get people to think and it draws attention because it is so different. I have no idea how big his subscriber list is or how many people read that magazine. I should have probably looked into that before I agreed to answer some questions. But I think he did say he agreed to use a quote of mine. Maybe he'll use more than that. I have no idea. I did talk to, like I said, there was two other people that I know he talked to, which was Ryan Beatty and Mark Sargent. Mark Sargent said he talked to him this morning, and I think they talked in quite detail. So I'm really hoping that some of it, set in, and that he took a lot of good quotes from Mark, because I guarantee Mark's better at talking than I am. So I'm excited to see what happens. Even if the article comes out and it makes us all look like idiots, then so be it. It's still exposure, I guess. I feel like I kind of got the feel, especially from talking with Ryan, that he kind of thought that we were all excited about being flat earthers because we felt like we were in like a super special secret group. And it's not that at all. Because, I mean, if you've listened to me, any of you guys that are close to me and listen to me talk, it sometimes can get very, very lonely, especially when you're around family and friends, because nobody understands how you feel. I can't very easily connect with a lot of people close to me in the same way anymore, because I feel like I know things that they will judge me on. And I know a lot of you guys feel the same way. So this isn't something that makes you feel like it. I don't want to say I don't regret it at all, but it just changes everything. You're definitely taking that pill and going down the rabbit hole, But anyway, I get the feeling that a couple things that I got from what he said, definitely he cannot imagine why everyone would lie, and that just boggles his mind. He doesn't believe that. He hardcore believes in the spinning pear ball earth. And I think he thinks that we're just genuinely into this because we just want to be in this little pact. Hopefully he does not take it towards a cult following kind of thing. But even so, the negative exposure will still be exposure. I'm excited to see. I don't even know if the article will be accepted and published. So we're going to see. I wanted to put this out there and let everyone know to maybe look for it. His name is Reilly Capps, and the magazine is called The Rooster, and it's out of Colorado. Those people are pretty open-minded out there. Maybe it will gain traction. And, I said to him at the very end that if he had questions, I would most certainly try to help him answer them, in the future, if he looks into this anymore and becomes any more intrigued or curious, that I would love to help him. And we'll see where it goes from there. I don't know who the other people is that he talked to. If you listen to this, reach out to me. I'd just love to hear your side of the story. And if you guys find the article before I do, send it to me. Let me know. Is there anything else I want to mention about this? I think it was a good opportunity. I think every time I agree to do things like this, it just, it stretches me and gets me out of my comfort zone a little bit more, and it gives me a little bit more practice. You know, I don't have a hard time speaking because I like to talk, but it's hard sometimes to gather your thoughts and make them be coherent, and then also make them make sense to other people so that it is convincing and that they get your point. But hopefully I did well enough, and this will just be a stepping stone for the next time. If someone else wants to ask me questions or do some kind of interview or article. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now. Let me know what you guys think about all this. Let me know if you hear anything. I wanted to do a couple shout outs. I wanted to give a shout out to 2 guys in my Flat and Happy group, RW Rock and Can Ev Art. You guys are amazing. You guys really, really I absolutely love every member in my Flat and Happy group. You guys are just fantastic. You're literally this huge family that we've created all together, that we can go and it's a safe place and share our thoughts on Flat Earth and our observations and our experiments, and share links and share our opinions, and then also come to each other when we need to try to deal with the lies of this world and help each other find happiness through all of that. But RW and Kenev Art, you guys lately have just been pushing out some incredible art. Kenev Art does incredible, like, I want to say comic book art, but I don't want that to sound like that's downplaying at all, because your art is absolutely fantastic. It like hits me right in the heart. It totally makes sense. I think you need to somehow start publishing it or something, because it's funny enough that it would get the attention of people that don't agree with Flat Earth, and it might change minds, but you guys help boost the morale so much in the group. And RW, your words are just, they speak to all of us, and it's just so inspirational. And then together, Kenev Art created a picture for RW today, and it was of him like inscribing or writing out some poetry, and it was incredible. So you guys are just amazing. I wanted to give a little shout out, because you guys just help the group dynamic so much. Shout out to Sarah Anderson and Robert Kidner for being my co-admins. We really do have a cozy place there, and I don't mean that to be all mushy. It's just we have a good, respectful group, you know? We have fun, and it's a good place of information and also like emotional support, and I just love it. So everybody out there, Flat and Happy group on Facebook, love you guys. If you like this video, share it. If you like my channel, subscribe. It's small and modest, but if you like my thoughts, you can follow along. Anyway, love you guys all. Hope you have a good night or a good evening or a good morning, whatever it is. Talk to you soon.